I think we are good to go. Surely we'll have these players ready to go shortly. I think I might be the one to give them the ready up. I just want to make sure we've got everybody that we need to. Yep, looks like we do. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and give them the ready up, and we're going to hold on to our hats, buckle ourselves in, and hopefully get some Rocket League underway. As I think, we'll see. We'll see. We'll possibly see. Players loading up onto the pitch, 3 aside, and it's about that time. Zuki, Serve, and Spooky. On the side of Criius Gaming, Volkenzi, Zero, and Popo the Panda, populating the side for Velocity Esports. Let's get this underway, shall we? Best of 5. I'm really excited to see what comes through here. Again, Zuki coming in as the super sub here for Criius, just in case, as Tokyo, I think, experiencing a couple of issues, but hopefully none too pressing. A Zero centering pass. Volkenzi gonna get us started 20 seconds in. It's a good push from the corner there for Zero, taking advantage of a rather slow meet on the challenge from Criius. Volkenzi just at the top of the box, waiting for that one to fall right into his hands. 1-0 here, just 20 seconds in. Volkenzi gets Velocity on the board first, but now Serve going back. Spooky demoed earlier on in that play, so that's going to slow things down for Criius. The pass doesn't quite pan out there. Spooky didn't want to jump straight up to the top of the box. Zero now looking for the back wall. Could get it off the ceiling here. Stuffs it. And there's Popo the Panda to tap that one home. It's a very similar goal to the first here, Velocity, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they've got their second here. Zero doing a lot of the work, and Popo just open space at the top of the box there. Still very early on in game 1. Velocity making a good name for themselves in the beginning. Popo with a touch out, doesn't find its way past the mid. Criius now tasked with holding on to possession here. It's a soft touch to the back wall is not going to do it. The clear is met. Zuki now high up for this one, but Zero, again, the poise in the corner. It's coming in strong. Serve. The centering pass attempt. Spooky shot, not on target enough. And Criius, they're close. They're on the doorstep, but gonna start getting those rotations a little bit closer on offense. It looks like they're left wanting more. Popo the Panda laces this one to the backboard crossbar. Spooky saves it away. Volkenzi for the follow-up. Denied at the top of the box. Spooky plays back into the corner here against Zero. Doesn't find it. Zero's been putting in a lot of work on this scrappy play. Speaking of, Popo deep in the box. Can't get anything going, and Zuki will clear. A little bit more time expires off the clock. Teams feeling each other a little bit. Again, we're talking about scrims here. They're playing loose, they're playing fast, trying to see whatever feels right, whatever they can't get against this side. And obviously, there's only so much analysis that Velocity and Criius can try and do in this matchup with Zuki playing as the super sub. However, still quality Rocket League here, and it's still something that they'll be able to learn from as Zuki gets the first goal here for Criius. Again, a lot of these goals finding their way to the top of the box fairly uncontested. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a hard touch for Volkenzi to make on the back wall. However, it's a very solid pickup there for Zuki. And the super sub strikes first for Criius. Back wall now, 3 minutes to go. Another juicy one. Serve with a demo to set up Spooky, trying to get it under the crossbar. Zuki wants to bully it, but can't make contact. Serve now. Out towards the center, but Zuki and Spooky. Oh boy, Zuki, Spooky, just realized the conundrum there. They both backpedal for that corner boost. Now Zuki's going to try and cheat up on this one, and an excellent challenge as well. Forces it onto Zero at the near post. Popo the Panda out to Volkenzi. Quick passes connecting towards the middle of the field as these teams start to heat up a little bit on offense. Zero nearly finds it inside that near post, but Spooky will get the clear. 2:20 to go, and Serve with a shot over the top. Zuki now following through. Teams looking strong. Oh, nearly. Redirect there. It'll still make its way towards the net, but it's going to be crucial. I feel like these passing lanes have been pretty wide open. Not only that, but we're seeing a little bit of slow speed to challenge balls that make it to the back wall, and Zero takes full advantage with an even 2 minutes on the clock to put Velocity up by 2 once again. And it's just those key missed touches. That's all it takes. One small mistake. But the back wall has been heavily exploited by both sides in this game 1 so far. Would not expect that to change anytime soon unless one of these defenses really start to clamp up. Spooky nearly falls down from the heavens to get that block. Popo the Panda with centering pass that curves all the way around. Aside of Volkenzi. Serve wants this one. Nearly a good connection there. Spooky left alone in the one-on-one, but Popo the Panda sends it up high. Volkenzi looking for the backboard. Can't get it in time, though. Good to close off that avenue from Criius, but Zero wants it again towards the crossbar. Nice carry here. The bump is set, but the ball is wide. Volkenzi gets a pinch on target, and it hits the far bottom corner. 4-1 with just under a minute and a half to go. Unfortunate circumstance there for Zuki. The clear through the corner stuck a little too true to the wall, and Volkenzi just picked it right off. 1:28. The way in for Criius right now, closing second by second. Here's another touch to the back wall. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to act like I'm a prophet in here or anything, but when you're given back wall touches like that, goals are going to be scored. And these teams are doing a great job of capitalizing on that exact piece, but I feel like we really see a step up in this lobby once that back wall gets shut down, because almost every single scoring opportunity I've seen so far has come off of those. You love to obviously see these players get the clean shots that come in from the midfield, but it is so evident right now that the back wall is just prime real estate for both teams here. As this one's sent off the side, Zero gonna pick that one clean. Thank you very much. 5-2 velocity with just over a minute to go. And again, another little unfortunate touch here. Criius just, they're quick to the ball, they're quick on the draw, but the touch isn't going where they need it to go, which is the real crux of it, because you want to be fast to the touch and fast to the challenge, but you've got to make sure that you're keeping possession of the ball throughout. It's not enough just to get a fast clear and win your challenge decisively if it's just going to end up in the hands of an opposing player. Less than a minute to go now, though, and Serve will clear this one on Volkenzi. Well to do to get it moving very quickly. Zuki sends it back with just as much pace, though. As time continues to tick, and 3 goals the difference. Velocity feeling more and more comfortable as the clock winds down. Volkenzi jumps up for this one, doesn't find it, but Zero's got a decent amount of time here, still manages to beat Spooky. Now Serve goes for it, Zuki on the follow-up, towards the top of the box, Michael in on its own, and what a pull there from inside the net. Volkenzi coming up huge to stop that goal, and now Zero the other side. It's a beautiful pass from the side wall. You've got to love the connection from Velocity moving up into the offensive zone. They don't find a goal from it, but they kill enough time to make sure that they'll win game 1. 0 seconds, ball pops up off the sidewall. See how long these players can keep it alive as Zero clears out. Zuki taps it down. Velocity Esports takes game number 1. Interesting one here. Definitely a lot left to be desired from both sides. I think they played some fantastic Rocket League, don't get me wrong, but again, you talk about the utilization of the backboard. It was prominent. It was absolutely all that these teams were looking for. Zero with 8 shots on target is very scary. You could even say that's spooky, to be quite frank, and I think it just comes down to shutting down that avenue. You talk about, you know, teams having to get a little bit more creative on the offensive push. Obviously the backboard's working for them, but I have to imagine that the comms for at least one of these teams is trying to figure out how they can clean up that backboard defense. Because if that avenue gets closed off, I feel like the opportunities are I should be careful how I word this. The opportunities are few and far between if that backboard is shut off. You start to force these teams to go from the corners, from the middle of the field. Now, granted, Velocity had a lot of solid infield passing and whatnot, so I do think that they have the slight edge here, even if the backboard isn't an option for them. But Criius could definitely prove me wrong here. They've got another 5 minutes on the clock to do so as Velocity manages to get game 1. We get underway with game number 2. Zero now, trying to force this one. A little double up, but not immediately punished. Nobody really there from Velocity to do anything the better, so Volkenzi now playing this one out from the back wall. Spooky sends to serve. Sidewall, Zuki will take over though as serve rotates out. Now serve up for this shot, but can't quite get it. Criius looking like they're starting to find their footing on offense, but still needing to make that key decision making happen that much faster on the offensive push, because it just comes back right the other way. Volkenzi cannot tuck it inside the near post though, and now sent back. Zuki in a one-on-one against Popo the Panda. Opts to go high for the follow-up shot from serve, but can't get it. Falls to Zuki at the sidewall here, or Spooky rather. My goodness, first time mixed up Zuki and Spooky. I guarantee it will not be the last. Volkenzi now carries this one all the way through the corner. The rotation through, you saw that demo coming from a mile away. Popo the Panda trying to hit zero for the shot. Zuki, what a save. Oh my. Hold it from that near post, said thank you very much. Oh, and Popo the Panda trying to send one back. Serve says no. Criius Gaming. I mean, if you're going to play defense like that the whole series, then be my guest, but oh my. Spooky now tries to send this one back. Blocked by Popo the Panda. Zero wants a nasty angle on that redirect. Volkenzi just trying to hold on to the pressure. Demoed. Talk about pressure. That's an immediate way to start applying some, and Criius could definitely do better with that. Zero nearly double tap. Volkenzi misses. Popo the Panda, awkward spot here to be dribbling, and gets punished immediately. Serves up for this. Zuki's up for this. Somebody's got to find it, and sure enough, it's Zuki. Little double commit to take that shot, but I don't blame them. Criius isn't going to get much larger of a green light than that one. And it's a collaborative effort there. Serve gets credited with the pass, so you gotta love the team play. You know, even in the attempted goal stealing. Well, not goal stealing, goal securing, let's be clear here. It's the first goal here for Criius. Popo the Panda nearly tucks one to the corner, and Zuki is not gonna have enough power to save Volkenzi's absolute blast from the goal line. We are tied just like that. I mean, you know, again, you talk about shot placement, usually you want to shoot it where the defender's not going to be. I don't think Volkenzi cared at that point, because that shot just absolutely bullied Zuki backwards. But the good response from Velocity here. They tie things up. We're still outside of the halfway mark, just about to approach it. Zuki now coming through the sidewall. Serve and Spooky a little close to each other. Spooky realizes and pulls off a bit. And Criius is still able to hold on to possession because of it. Smart play there. Now Spooky comes through in the corner. Zuki up for the shot. A little late to the challenge, but still finds a meaningful touch. Spooky goes to the back wall, but the double is denied by Zero. Serve now. Trying to keep things alive and weaving through everyone. There is Serve for the second goal. What an effort here from the midfield. Gets it over one. Pass two by virtue of being outside of it. Volkenzi and Popo the Panda too slow on the draw. Beautiful goal there from Serve. And a 2-1 lead here for Criius as they look to even things up in the series. Zuki, massive challenge there. Spooky coming through in the corner. Plays out to Serve, but a little too low, or slow rather. Low on the ground to get up for that one. Popo the Panda for the follow-up here. Still less than 2 minutes to play. Plenty of time for Velocity to try and respond. And respond they did to the first goal. And you can see this offensive pressure as well. They want to try and play this counter game. Zero now. Opportunity to clear. Doesn't quite get the juice on it that they might have wanted. So will not go through to Popo the Panda. Volkenzi, though, does play it out off the ceiling. No touch. Spooky was anticipating it, though. Not able to get a touch either. Little double commit there. I say little, but I mean, that's about as massive as it could have been. Unfortunately, completely boxed out of pushing the ball further, and Criius could not get the push that they wanted to. Volkenzi trying to hit Popo the Panda here, but good cut off of that passing lane. It's exactly what Criius need right now. And they're executing it well, cutting off the passing lane as soon as possible. They can't expect to be able to play this dormant playstyle sitting back against Velocity as the series goes on. Volkenzi trying to get to this shot, but Serve denies it. Zero up high, 50 seconds to go. Jumps for it, nice touch to the back wall. Popo the Panda can't sink the shot. Volkenzi goes back with a soft touch. Plays it to Spooky, still top of the box. Zuki gets the clear. Zero holds at midfield, but surely that is prime for a Criius Gaming player to get to it. And sure enough, it's Spooky with a big clear back the other way and a boost steal. So solid outcome there for Criius. They get a shot on target because of it as well. And all of this is just eating time off the clock here for Velocity to make their way back in. Serve with a nice jump to at least force the challenge, but it does not go the way that Criius might have wanted it to. Zuki with a big block here. About 10 seconds to go, getting it all the way back to the net, and Velocity just have not been able to get it going here in the final 30 seconds or so. This might spell the end as the ball is rolling along the ground. That's a last shot, though, that is on target. Spooky turns it aside, and it does hit the ground. Criius, a tiny scare there at the end of game number 2, but they come away with the win, and we've got a tie series. And this is what we're talking about. This is the response. And this is what we knew what was going to happen, this close series. So I am very excited to see where this one ends up. I think that both of these teams are doing an excellent job to try and shut each other down on an individual and team level. I think that Zero is still a very scary player here for Velocity. Not that Volkenzi and Popo the Panda are not. Everybody's very scary on this roster, but Zero has been performing very well individually here for Velocity Esports. So again, you know, another avenue for Criius to try and find their way into this series in a more dominant fashion is shutting down a player like Zero. Again, you know, Criius does walk away with the win here. They are outshot. However, I believe that is 8-9. Actually, if my basic math serves me correctly, it was pretty close. So I rescind my statement. It was close enough to not really have too much influence here. Zuki, strong performance as well, getting the Savior medal in that game number 2. And we're all square at 1 game apiece. All right. I'm curious how everybody's feeling about where this series is going to end up. You've seen 2 games, 1 good on both sides. I'm curious. I don't know if I can make a prediction in good faith right now. I feel like it could go any way. But we obviously want it to go the full 5, am I right? Really no other way you want it to end. Popo the Panda finding this one across the box, and it goes in fairly uncontested. First goal here, 7 seconds, and finds its way in. And it's a great capitalization there on the defensive stance from Criius, because so you picture it when you're playing yourself, when you've got someone going up the left side wall, you want to be on that left side playing shadow to make sure that you can be in between the ball and the goal at all times. However, what Popo the Panda does is takes it all the way to the opposite side of the net faster than anybody else can react. I see it a lot with shots that end up closer to the crossbar, but it worked just as well with that one to the bottom corner as well. A good early start for Velocity. Zero, though, with a whiff there at the top of the box. That's going to open the door for Criius' counterattack, but Serve can't find the shot. Now everybody getting a little trigger happy with the ball, but not finding the contact. Volkenzi, though, makes excellent contact there to try and control the ball. It's a demo as well. Spooky rotates through, looking for a demolition as well. Zuki, absolute laser of a shot. It's sent back with the same amount of pace, and nobody can save it in time. Popo the Panda with a second here, and Velocity up by 2. That's a real unfortunate circumstance given how close Zuki was to scoring that goal. But as soon as you put momentum on that ball, makes it a little bit easier for your opponents to keep that momentum going, conserve it through the push, and that's exactly what happens with that shot. It was almost as if, you know, the ball was cradled into Popo the Panda's rotation. And it just makes it that much easier to launch one. Tries to go with a bounce shot here, but it hits the crossbar. Serve with a clear attempt. Criius feeling a little stuck right now. They want to get things going, but they're not finding their footing, and they're being forced into the defensive zone very early on. Still only a minute and a half gone in this game number 3. Criius definitely, this is a little bit of an awkward back pass, I will say, though, as Velocity going for that possession control, but it could bite them. They don't handle it properly. Zero, though, good second touch, wide of the far corner, but will play out to Volkenzi here, who's ready and waiting for it. Serve with a nice touch, though, to get that at least partially over Popo the Panda, who gets a second touch. Oh, you wanted Panda to get the third touch there, don't lie. It would have been a good way to ice the cake, but Volkenzi, oh my goodness. All right, well, We've got our best looking goal of the scrim so far, courtesy of Volkenzi, saving the flip, getting under the ball, and it's right under the crossbar. I mean, it's Volkenzi doing Volkenzi things. 3-0 for Velocity Esports, and my goodness, what a goal. I was curious when we're going to see some opportunities like that. Not that the goals that have gone in so far in this series haven't been amazing. A lot of them have been, you know, counterattacks, capitalizing on one small mistake there. Volkenzi doesn't really capitalize on a mistake. He just kind of makes his own win in that situation, which is why you love to see. I mean, obviously it's threes. Team plays are always going to rule, but the solo mechanical plays that these players can pull off in a threes setting are all the more impressive when you understand how many defenders they have to go through and what it takes pull off a shot like that. Zero will launch this one back. Spooky, soft touch, not where Spooky wanted that one to end up. It is primed and ready for a Volkenzi double tap, but Popo the Panda gonna secure the hat trick and seal that one as Velocity get up by 4 and continue their dominant Game 3 performance. And it really just feels like Velocity, you know, not to be redundant here, but they've got all the velocity in this series right now. They are putting Criius on the back foot. These back passes as well are panning out because they're not immediately being challenged, and everybody's trying to make a touch on Velocity. Meanwhile, Criius happy to wait for this mistake from Velocity that hasn't really come through just yet. Volkenzi, the solid third person in rotation to get a touch on that ball, crucial to make contact there. Serve can't find it in the corner, and again, an opportunity where Criius had plenty of time with that ball in the corner. Zuki will find the clear out to Zero. But these players have to be finding those touches when they're given the space and time to do so. Forced to the sidewall here. Zero gets that one out towards Volkenzi, but Zuki denies it early. Blocked off as well, but Popo Panda. Let me get this one centered up. Another back pass attempt forces the challenge between Volkenzi and Zuki. Top of the box here. No shooter, but it is played right to Popo the Panda. Nearing a minute left in regulation. And again, it's a little tough to see Criius' way in this game number 3 specifically. Velocity has just been playing that much faster, and we get ourselves back to this game 1 stance. These goals where the ball finds its way to the back wall. I mean, Volkenzi is absolutely racing towards that ball and likely could have finished a self-dish, but instead it gets to the top of the box, even the middle of the box there, and Popo the Panda, an uncontested opportunity. 5-0 here with 50 seconds to go, and Velocity a little, maybe a little disappointed they weren't able to get that game number 2. Otherwise, this would have been an emphatic way to end the series, but it's a statement nonetheless, as they still continue to churn out offensive opportunities. Spooky can't find it off of Zuki's pass there, and that encapsulates just about how this game number 3 has gone. Less than 30 seconds to go. In the final seconds, a mere formality in this one. Spooky trying to find serve, a consolation goal. Nice pass, 1-2-1, and it's in. Spooky, good finish. And that's what you want to see from Criius. Playing even when they know all the chips are stacked against them. 1-2-1, and it's a great shot that keeps Velocity guessing. A bright spot there for Criius towards the end of game number 3. Zero jumps up for this one. 10 seconds to go. Flip reset in hand. Gets it to the back wall. Doesn't quite waterfall down though, so Volkenzi will not get the touch. It is fairly open here. Zuki can likely dribble this one in, but is contested by a double commit, and the ball hits the ground. Velocity Esports walks away with a 5-1 result here in game number 3, and they are the first in this Sunday scrim to move on to match point. And my goodness, I mean, listen, I know stats and the scoreboard are not everything, but I was talking about Zero's performance as an individual player. Zero? Where are you at? Kidding, of course. Obviously, Zero's been very active on the pitch. I'm absolutely clowning, and I mean no disrespect to Zero here, but Popo the Panda specifically, I mean, started off with a very early hat trick 3 goals on 5 shots and then proceeded to get another one in the next 3. Again, it's this ability for anybody on Velocity to really pop off. Not only that, but Volkenzi with 2 assists tagged on to those goals from Popo the Panda as well. So very many threats here from Velocity on offense, which makes it that much harder for Criius to account for everything and end up winning that game. Fresh scoreboard though, 5 minutes, 0 goals. I almost said 0 seconds on the clock. 0 goals on either side. And Criius have proven that they're able to take Velocity the distance here. However, if Game 3 is any indication as to how much Velocity has warmed up into this specific matchup, Criius is going to need to make a statement early. They're certainly trying to here, but Serve is not able to get to the shot in time. Zuki trying to push out of the corner. Now it's Serve again, getting a little too trigger happy with the ball. Demo comes through on the Serve and back to the Criius zone. Zero now launches this one up past one. Spooky comes through, tries to go low, and Zero. What a goal for the first 35 in. Goes up high, realizes, oh my goodness, it just falls right into Zero's lap. Wow. The pressure applied there through that opportunity. Still sticking with the ball, even though Zero knew they were so far removed from it off of the initial pop to beat the first defender. Now Volkenzi looking for a redirect instead as Popo the Panda, who nearly finds it to the bottom corner. Big clear here though, not immediately on target, but threatening nonetheless. Serve tries to find it here, and Zero will get the clear away. Zuki with a soft touch, looking for the backboard. Second and third touch, nearly sent it in off a forced own goal, but could not get it to fall at the last moment. Serve with a nice block though, at the middle of the field, and it's been really interesting to see this Criius team develop in this specific series. Again, you know, we have to touch on the fact that they're playing with Zuki, the super sub, or I should say the super sub Zuki. Zero, too many Z's. Volkenzi, Popo the Panda. It's a 1, 2, 3. You heard it from me. We went Zero to the back wall, crossbar. Volkenzi to the back wall, crossbar. Popo the Panda to the crossbar and down in the net. Tough opportunity to save away when everybody's getting close touches like that, but it really speaks to the offensive rotations of Velocity here. Popo the Panda, up in the corner. Volkenzi looking for more, middle of the field, and Zuki will try to get a clear out. Serve with a redirect, could waterfall down, exactly does, but nobody was on that read. Kind of had a feeling that one was heading straight down, but fortunately a little too risky, although I do think that Criius could do well to try and crash the box a little bit more. I think they're a little too happy to try and take some clean shots against Velocity, who are not going to give them those angles. Meanwhile, on the other side here, Velocity open to do whatever sort of attack they honestly feel like. Trying to get the flip reset there. Unable to see it through. Volkenzi gets blocked out though. Massive one there, as a good look on target was surely inbound. Pop up here, and Zero still gets a really solid piece. That is a massive touch from Zero. Not an easy pop-up from Volkenzi by any stretch of the imagination. Waterfall down. Oh, these players know that angle so well too. That's why the backboard's so open. These players, they love the backboard. They absolutely, I imagine they just hit free play and that's all they're doing. Back wall again for Spooky. Gets the demo, opens the lane, no shooter. Top of the box. It was absolutely just sitting there primed for Criius to score, and nobody wants to crash the zone. For fear of maybe not being back in time for a counterattack, which is understandable. Velocity's counterattack has looked solid, but again, you've got to get in their faces here. Just let them clear on defense far too often and far too easily. As time continues to tick down, less than 2 minutes to go. Back wall for Volkenzi, played slow by Zuki. Challenge from Popo the Panda, sends it over to the side. Zero gets it against Spooky, now rotates out as Volkenzi is speeding through. I swear, Volkenzi definitely going to be racking up the speeding tickets by the end of this scrim. Feel like going just a little too fast. I never thought there would be such a thing as too fast in Rocket League, but here we are. Less than a minute and a half to go. Zero knocks this one out and away from the goal line. Volkenzi with a nice pinch here to clear space. Now trying to force this again. Look at that. In the face of anybody who opposes him. Zero has to play this one back, though, to the corner and decides to turn it out rather than across. And here goes Serve up for this one. 1 minute to go. Spooky looking for a clear, looking for any sort of momentum here for Criius to try and get back. Scoreless here in game 4. Popo the Panda immediately cuts off Zuki's air dribble attempt. Serve forced to make a save there against Zero on an odd angle. Serve cannot find the touch. It's now all on Spooky here, deep in the corner. Zero goes for an early challenge. Volkenzi, oh my goodness, how does he find that touch? Popo the Panda sends it off the post. This is an opportunity that Criius need right here. Zuki's got the ball moving very quickly. Surely that's in the back of a wide open net. Good conversion. That is never a position you want to see Zuki in if you're going up against him, because my goodness, he will take advantage of it 10 times out of 10. 26 seconds to go. Criius Gaming, 1 away from equalizing. But they need it, and they need it now. They need to bring the fire unlike any moment in this series before. Zuki, oh my goodness, gets the block on Popo the Panda. I was going to say that ball's just coming right back where it came from. Serve up high, second touch not there. Spooky comes through. It's chaos in the corner. Zuki now, top of the box, sends it on target, turned aside. 5 seconds to go. Serve slow to the challenge and does not find it. Time expires. Spooky cannot get the ball up, and Velocity is going to walk away with a 4-game victory here in the first of our Criius Gaming Sunday Scrims. My goodness, what an effort there.